tanked. Well, what happened was the person lost muscle or never worked the muscle, and the muscle cell, is just not a healthy cell anymore. It's not working properly. You don't use it. So the muscle cell is either damaged or not there anymore. Think about it. Now you eat. You eat carbs. The carbs go into your system and they turn into glucose, blood sugar. So the blood sugar goes up. It's in our bloodstream. The body wants to have always a balance. So the blood sugar needs to get out. Where does the blood sugar go? The biggest blood sugar or glucose sponge is the muscle. The sugar goes into the muscle. That's where the disposal is of sugar. Now, if you don't have muscle, the blood sugar cannot go anywhere. So what happens is, now we get a little bit scientific, excuse me, but I try to explain it simply. Now, the pancreas gets the signal and produces insulin. Insulin is the hormone what opens the cell. It's like a key opening up a door. So it opens up the cell and the sugar can go in. Now, you produce a lot of insulin because your blood sugar is high. It goes to the cell, but the cell is not there, saturated or damaged. It's full of carbs. You're not using it. You're not exercising. So the sugar can't go in. It stays in the bloodstream. It goes back to the liver. It spills over in the liver, and we create the visceral fat. And that's the very, very dangerous fat right at the belly. And that's where it gets very bad. With visceral fat, it causes inflammation in the body. It causes hormone interruption. It causes cardiovascular disease. So, because we don't have the muscle, we have a problem with our metabolism. Now, when you fix your muscle, when the muscle is healthy, you can get rid of insulin resistancy. You can get rid of prediabetes or diabetes because the sugar can go somewhere and it's getting used. There is a flux because the muscle, you're working out, you're doing something, and you train the muscle so it's a healthy cell. It knows what to do when insulin comes in, it opens the cell. Another benefit of having muscle is heavy, and muscle communicates with everything in your system. Now, your bones need to carry the muscle, so you get automatically stronger bones. Very important to prevent osteoporosis. So you want healthy muscle to have stronger bones. Same thing with resistance training. You trigger the bones to get stronger because they have resistance, so they have to be strong. Same thing when you train the muscle communicates with your endocrine system. It produces myokines, which, like I said, communicate with every hormone gland in your body. Thyroid, pancreas, adrenal system, cortisol, melatonin, all those things, serotonin. This is a big thing. And sex hormones, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, communicates with all those systems and keeps them in balance. Huge. If you don't take care of it, and like I said, it starts in the 40s, 50s. Some men are lucky in the 60s, they feel it, but that's when it kicks in because they have so much muscle loss. Same thing with cognitive function, and same thing actually with mindset. You have a way stronger mindset and willpower if you have stronger muscles because you're practicing hard things every day. So it's not only physical, you hold from brain to the toe, basically. It's also mental. Same thing with your immune system. If you have strong muscle, your immune system is way stronger and faster. And that's important as well. So it all works together. It's, like I said, a big, big system. And there are different systems working together. And if one system fails, all the others are going to fail. And that's when you get into health issues. Yeah.
And in fitness and within health, in all honesty, you are the first guest actually taking me into all the process. I agree. Yes, I spoke about microbiomes when it comes to health. I spoke about in terms of vitamins, how important are vitamins and supplements in a way. But in a way of fitness, as much as I knew that fitness and health, they are very important things, but I didn't actually realize they are this important when it comes to muscle. And going back to something that you said in terms of it was all about looks in a way of you wanted to have that physique in terms of you have
Not only the look is the outcome, but you want the health benefits.
Yes. Something that actually we don't realize. I myself have actually went to the gym and in a way of realizing that lifting weights is hard. And I don't know why. At some point in my life, I always had pledged that I would never ever lift weights because I remember back, I think I was around 15 when I started trying to lift weights and was saying, and I made it a pledge that I would never end. When recently, I think it was around, I think April, May, when I started lifting weights and actually started to enjoy it. And I saw it as something that I just want to do every now and then and being able to, not only one thing that I actually realize about lifting weights is not only about the physical body, but also the mental one. When it comes to resilience and you practice yourself, you practice the fact of actually trying new things. The more you try hard things, the more you build that, I would say that mental resilience that even though I'm going through this, I remember that this thing, it is bigger than what I've done. And something about nutrition, I believe that you definitely will come across. What types of myths that you'll come across when it comes to nutrition, and how do they affect women's mental health?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Myths. Carbs are bad. That's one myth. Carbs are bad. Carbs are not bad. We need them for energy, but you have to earn your carbs. So you cannot make carbs the centerpiece of your dish. When you eat and you create your plate, my mantra is protein first. Why protein first? Because protein, first of all, you need protein to build muscle, and you need the right amount, a robust amount of protein to trigger muscle protein synthesis, which is very important. Now, protein has a thermogenic effect when you digest it, meaning the body needs 30% of that intake to digest the protein. That's the thermogenic effect. With carbs, it's only 5 to 10%, and fat is only 0 to 3%. The fat gets absorbed very effortless the body does it very easily. Protein is hard to break down for the body, so you have a thermogenic effect. Protein also triggers the hormone leptin, meaning you feel more satiety. So you always want to have your protein first because you want to have the leptin hormone up so you're not as hungry. It's funny, in restaurants, they always serve the bread first. Don't eat the bread first, eat your protein first and wait. And I'm telling you, you won't want the bread because you're feeling full. Then my second thing with the plate is fiber. You want to have fiber on your plate, and for different reasons. First of all, insoluble fiber is the broomstick of the colon, cleans it out. Now, insoluble fiber and soluble fiber mostly, when you digest it, it actually makes like a mesh or a net over your upper intestines, and it slows down the absorption of carbs. meaning your blood sugar spikes are not there and your diet is way more balanced. And that's what we want. We don't want the up and downs with the blood sugar. So you want the fiber in your diet to clean the colon and to make the absorption as a buffer slower of the carbs. Makes sense? And then I always want healthy fats because I'm a big fan of omega-3 fatty acids because they're highly anti-inflammatory. If it comes to plant fats, the ratio is a little bit off. So the omega-6 are higher than the omega-3. So always pay attention that the omega-6, which are inflammatory, are not overpowering the omega-3s. So I always like to supplement it if people have an issue with it. Otherwise, just eat salmon or fish with a higher fat content to make sure that you get the healthy omega-3s. They are in plants as well, like I said, but sometimes the omega-6 are way more overpowering, and then the omega-3s have a hard time. And I talk about the EPA and DHA and omega-3s, which are important for brain health, anti-inflammatory. Yeah. So that would be the perfect plate, so to speak. I think also I get always this myth, calories in, calories out. And no, it's not just a number game. And this is me. Like I said, I love numbers, but you cannot just calculate. You can eat per day 1,500 calories, and no matter what it is, and you will lose weight. You won't. What you will do with that? Let's say it's a Twinkie diet with 1,500 calories. You only eat Twinkies with 1,500 calories. You're not nourishing your body. You're not getting all the nutrients in. And you're not triggering muscle protein synthesis, as I said. So you are losing weight, but most of the weight is muscle and not body fat. So what happens is your resting metabolic rate was, let's say, at 1,600. So you're 1,500, you're tearing down the weight, you're getting like, oh my God, I'm losing weight, the scale shows me, but you don't pay attention what kind of food it is. You're reducing your muscle in your body. Now there is no active tissue anymore. What needs calories? Makes sense? So your resting metabolic rate is lower now. It's not 1,600 anymore, it's 1,200. So now you have to reduce your caloric intake again and again and again to lose more weight. So you eat less and less and less, and you're losing more and more muscle. You want to have the right macronutrients, the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fat to keep the muscle and be in a slight deficit to lose the body fat, but you want to keep the muscle under any circumstances. That's why it is important how you divide the food. You cannot just say, oh, I eat only 1,200 calories and it's just, how can I say, like garbage food, like fast, highly processed, highly carb loaded, and want long-term results, not maintainable, and you destroy your metabolism by doing that.
And something that you quite mentioned in terms of calories, and I believe that people have this perception that, because you said you are not numbers person, and at some point I realized that people keep on eating, and within those calories there are things that are not nutrient enough in a way of that. I'm seeing that almost all the time. Just want to touch on the final question regarding of micronutrients. One thing that I realized is the fact that we might actually, at some point, as much as we want to be healthier, we want to lose weight, we want to have this physique, and when it comes to diets, when it comes to micronutrients, we can become so obsessed in a way of trying to overdo it. How do you draw the line within your clients in terms of those micronutrients? How to make sure that they don't overdo it?
Yeah, good question. Orthorexia is when you get obsessed about it, when you are consumed, and when it interferes with your life, to be honest with you,